now that the adults in the room are being led to transformation, there are other transformative animals or creatures that we need to talk about, don't we?
Yes, sort of the elephant in the room, or rather,
the animal.
yeah, the animal in the room. Scholars, what is this animal? Oh, very good. And they're already pretty much there.
Halfway. What's his name?
Okay, and what's his name? We already know the secret. And his name? Yes, scholars, we are so original we named them all Jerry.
Now remember, it's not just because we're original, it's because they are technically clones of one another. Because the hospital that they're born in is in another country that starts with the letter C. And I don't know where that country is. Yes, and we're very good at copying, cloning, right? So these are all brothers and sisters. Now some of you might ask, wait, how come they're all different colors? Well, that's because the hospital is next to what we call a nuclear power plant. And Chinese nuclear power plant likes to give off a lot of radiant energy.
They're very giving.
Very generous indeed. And so they've attained particular superpowers. But there is one particular individual that has the most powerful combination of all.
Scholars, he is the only alpaca on this stage whose name is not Jerry. Many of you know him. What is his name? Skittles. Yes, his name is Skittles. Oh, and we have the whole family. Can you bring yours up here? Oh. So scholars, Skittles start off like this. If you raise them and feed them well, they turn into teenagers like this.
Yep. You feed them a bit more, it will turn into adult.
Then you grow up to be curmudgeonly like this.
And then if you give them more food, they'll turn into this. That's the magic.
And scholars, Skittles is named such because of his radioactive rainbow. Like the candy Skittles. Do you guys know the candy Skittles?
What's the slogan? What's the slogan for Taste the Rainbow? Now, the only problem is this particular Skittle has been traveling in Joga's suitcase, and
You should not taste his rainbow.
yeah, otherwise
It's very good.
I think sock would be one of the tastes that you get.
Perhaps. So scholars, there is a reason why the World Scholars Cup may appear to be obsessed with alpacas. I'm not saying that we aren't, but we definitely appear to be. Over these next 2 days, scholars, you will be challenged. Especially those of you doing this for the first time, you may be trying out skills that you have never done, like public speaking in debates. Some of you may perhaps be writing the longest English essay of your lives. You'll also be answering questions about this entangled world that you've been studying, both individually and as a team. And you're doing all of this on top of what you're already doing in school. And we know that you have a lot of demands in school. You're probably studying 8 subjects. How many subjects do you study in your schools?
Those of you who study 6 subjects, raise your hand. They're counting it.
I don't know, they're like, there's too many. Anyway, you have a lot of stuff that you already have to do in school. So if you're going to do something on top of that, if you're going to take on additional work, learn new things, we want it to be fun. And that's why the alpaca serves as sort of a reminder to not take ourselves too seriously. So scholars, even when you're in a debate that may be heated and may not end the way that you want, which sometimes happens, or maybe you have 5 or 10 questions in a row in the Scholars Challenge that you don't know, or 15 or 20, or 30 or 40.
As long as it's not 120.
There is 100, yes, that would be sad. But scholars, remember that even when things seem difficult like that we can still enjoy the journey. The alpaca serves as a reminder of that. Each of you will leave tomorrow with an alpaca like this, or red or green or some color. Now the reason we give it to you tomorrow is because if we gave it to you today, no one would probably come back tomorrow.
No, they didn't just come for the alpaca, right?
Let's see. Did anyone come just to get an alpaca? Wow. Oh, a few of you did. At some rounds we have, everybody raises their hand.
So you don't mind if we don't give you alpacas tomorrow, right? You don't want any, right? think the silence is
Scholars of Kansai are serious. They came here ready to rock. Yeah, ready to rock.
But in order for them to rock, they need to be able to rock verbally as well.
Indeed.
And that is the language of the alpacanese that you need to learn, right? I think somebody already know the language.
Yeah, scholars, it's very simple. It doesn't require a lot of brain power.
Yeah, just like I am Groot, except this is even easier, right? To speak alpacanese, you need one syllable with the right nuance. And the first syllable is pwa. That is the sound that a happy alpaca makes. And the way it's spelled is very specific. It's P-W-A. So it's W and double A. And that is? One more time. Very good. What happens if it's
Now, scholars, there are only two words in the alpaca language, so that's one of them. The other one is spelled almost the same, but there's only one A, P-W-A. That's why it's so important to get them correct, because P-W-A is pua. And that is the sound an alpaca makes when it is not happy, rather when it feels threatened. Can you all not make that sound? They just spit on the person in front of them. Now wipe the spit off them. Nobody's doing it.
I think this is the language that you guys can use tomorrow. Like we said, if you feel happy and you know it and you don't want to clap your hands, then say pwa. If you get 6 challenge questions in a row and you're stumped, say pwa as a war cry for yourself.
Although it might distract somebody else who's trying to take the challenge.
That might be a strategy.
Say a silent pwa to yourself.
Inside voice. Inside voice.
But scholars, to continue on with our introductions, we're going to next give all of you a chance to introduce yourselves. After all, we've introduced about everybody else here. It's only right that we give all of you the reason we're here. Scholars, you are the reason we're here. That we give you a chance to introduce yourselves. This is a tradition in the World Scholars Cup. Some of you have done this before. What we will be doing is doing a sort of roll call of sorts. So we will be going through a list of all the schools here, whether from Japan or from outside of Japan. When we have called your school name, we ask for all the scholars from that school, whether you are the only one or if there are over 50 of you, to please stand and pwa together in the most unique and creative way that you can think of. Now we're going to give you about 30 seconds to discuss as a team. Some scholars incorporate hand motion or dance, or they do it in the form of a song. Discuss as a school, how will you pwa together?
You have 30 seconds.
We will see how this goes. All right, our first group of scholars, I believe it may be their first time participating, correct me if I'm wrong, the scholars from Chiben Gakuen Nara College High School. Oh, it's only you, the scholar, the scholar. Did you pwa? She said it like, pwa? So you can express many different things with that one word.
I am Groot.
All right, scholars, thank you very much.
Next up, we got Chigusa High School. If I mispronounce it. Oh, wow. Whoa.
Take it as pride. All right, and next up, I believe we may have another single scholar delegation. We have the scholar from Hokkaido, Biratori High School.
Yay! Everybody give her a
So are you actually from Hokkaido? Wow, I believe you may be the first scholar to represent Hokkaido in the World Scholars Cup. But please help us have a round in Hokkaido. We want to go so badly.
Yeah, I want some Hokkaido milk with uni. Actually, they don't go together, but yeah. Next up, we got Japan Women's University's High School. Also super scholar. Wow.
Thank you very much. And next up, we have not a single scholar, but a group of scholars from Kobe College Senior High School.
I like that. We could probably put them on to the talent show tomorrow, I think.
Ooh, scholars, actually, we should just pause a moment. We'll just pause to talk about the talent show that we'll be having tomorrow. So scholars, tomorrow afternoon, we will be having, hopefully many of you, performing various things that may or may not include or involve talent up here on the stage. If you would like to get up and share a unique skill, or just get up and embarrass yourself, that is also acceptable. Yesterday in Tokyo, we had a number of interesting performances.
Yep, so it could be, like Joga said, song and dance, but you know, in the country previous, I think it was Bahrain, we had somebody did something food related, which is making pineapple pizza. And then we had the epitome of food performances yesterday, which is juggling sushi.
Yeah, that's right, a scholar literally was
Juggling sushi. I'm not sure whether or not the sushi was eaten during the performance or after the performance, but the juggling itself was awesome.
So scholars, if you would like to sign up to perform in the talent show, you can see any of us. Tell us your names. It would be really great to see one scholar from most every school here.
Alternatively, if you feel your teammate has talents that they should put up, grab your name tag and their persons and come to us for registration as well. That's not called peer pressure, obviously. Not at all.
And if no one is signed up by tomorrow for the talent show, we will start to try to bribe you to be in the talent show.
Or call you randomly as well. One of those things.
All right, let me return to the roll call.
Next up is Konko Osaka.
Junior and senior high school.
3, 2, 1.
That was a very wild.
Such vigor.
Indeed.
All right, and next up we have Koyo Gakuen.
Short and powerful. Next up, we got Kansai Joga Queen High School. Joga School.
They have with my name.
And then next up, who do we got?
Next up we have the scholars, I think, from Kyoto Shiritsu Horikawa High School. Maybe we don't.
Maybe the ninjas.
Maybe they're phantoms. Okay, it appears they are.
Next up, we also have Kyoto Shiritsu Saikyo High School.
More phantoms.
So many ninja schools here in Kyoto.
They're hiding very well.
Next up, Maybe not so ninja at all. We got a single team from Mino High School. I think.
All right, and next up we have Nada High School.
Absolutely nada.
いっせーので。
You guys are the first act to sign up for the talent show. Thank you very much. Their voice choir.
Next up, from Nishiyamamoto Ganku High School. I think I pronounced it perfectly, right? They are very kind.
Man.
What just happened? It sounded like we were having a conversation.
All right, and next we move to Osaka Kyoku University Tennoji High School. Woo!
Next up, we got Otiman Gankuen Otame High School. Seems like we found another ninja school.
All right, and next we have Ritsumeikan Moriyama High School.
Third selection. Indeed.
Like penguin.
Waddle, waddle, waddle. Pingu. And another school that's worth mentioning is our former host, isn't it? It's Sanri Osaka International School.
Also one of the larger delegations.
The Army.
And from there we go to Takarazuka Nishi High School. Woo! Takarazuka. Or we can call your school Takarazuka. Okay, or not.
It works sort of. Then next up, we got Todachi Gankwan High School. What? What? We should record that sound clip and play it in our opening every time. And that was like Universal Studio.
All right, we only have a couple schools up next, all the way from Central Asia, from Bishkek, Chingiz Aytman High School in Kyrgyzstan. Perhaps you would like to perform something like that in a talent show.
I think that's right.
As long as no one's hurt.
Well, we won't find out.
All right, and as far as that leaves us with only one school left, our host school, Toshisha International Junior
I say Toshi, you say Paw! Toshi, Paw! Toshi, Paw! I say Toshi, you say Paw! Toshi, Paw! Toshi, Paw!
I can feel the heat. Can you feel the heat?
I actually can feel the heat. These lights are really hot.
Oh,
And my jacket is too much.
okay. I guess I'm feeling something else then. Now that we've informally introduced everyone to everybody, We are now one single alpaca family, and as a single alpaca family, what do? We say "pa" together proudly. 1, 2, 3. Wow! Not enough.
They can do a little bit better.
All right, a little bit higher, everybody. 1, 2, 3. It seems like the understanding of higher in pitch is different from my understanding of higher in pitch.
Albert was trying to direct you like a choir, I think. He was like, higher! That's what he was trying to say.
Yeah. But loud is good too.
Loud is good.
That's the heat that we need, not from these, but yes.
And scholars, one other way to maybe get you excited, this is a tradition also at this point in our opening ceremonies. Scholars, who wants an alpaca right now? Let's find out. We'll just divide you into halves, okay? So, this side, Albert will point at that side.
If you guys want an alpaca, say "Wah." Not loud enough. Show me what you've got. You guys want to try again? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Get over here. I think they've still got it. I think these are not champions out there. Sylvia, what do you think? You're the tiebreaker. That was a very specific target. Now, are you guys feeling your blood is pumping? That might be due to the lack of air conditioning, but yes, let us continue from that.
So scholars, we have reached the time this morning where we need to be reminded that we are actually here for an academic competition.
All right.
And scholars, there are 4 academic events in the World Scholars Cup. Today, you will be completing 3 of them rather, 1 of them tomorrow. And many of you are doing this for the first time, so we want to make sure that all of you do know what will be happening. So we're going to spend a bit of time now talking about what will be happening the rest of the day, okay? So scholars, the first thing that we want to discuss, it may seem like an obvious thing, but there is a reason why we do. It is your name tag that is around your neck. Yes, everybody hold your name tag up, but do not choke yourself in the process, because that would be a violent thing to do, even to yourself. Now scholars, your name tag has some information that's obvious on it, but it is important, especially to receiving scores, so we want to make sure that all of you do know correctly how to read the things on here. The first thing that will be listed on there is, of course, where we are. We are in Kansai. If your name tag says Jakarta, where we are also having a round today,
Right now.
place today.
Well, yes, I think so.
We also have about 700 scholars in Jakarta right now in the middle of their opening ceremony.
Yeah.
If your name tag says that, you should probably head to the airport. You can make it for day 2.
Yeah. Stuck in traffic for 3 hours in Jakarta as well.
Actually, you probably won't make any of the round because of Jakarta traffic. The next thing, scholars, and this is probably the most obvious part, given that it's a name tag, but it should have your name on it. Now, the reason that we go over this part is that occasionally, as it happened this morning, there were a few scholars who, for various reasons, could not be with us here today, but someone came in their place. And that's fine for substitutions to happen, but we need to know about it. So if anyone has a name tag that says someone else's name on it, we need to know so that we can make a change. Okay? Also, if your name is somehow spelled incorrectly, we can also change that so that it's correct when you receive your certificates and when we have the award ceremony tomorrow. Scholars, if you just don't like your name, then you need to go home and talk to your parents. And that is not something that we can help you with here.
Alternatively, you can change your identity, like in Your Name, the movie. I tried.
Took me a second, but I got it. The next thing is your team ID. Scholars, each of you have a 3-digit number on your name tag. It starts with a 1. Everyone in your team should have the same number. So everybody look at your teammates name tag. If they do not have the same number, I have some bad news. It means you're not actually teammates. But all three of you should have the same number. What is different is you have a different letter. One of you is A, one B, one C.
It should not be repeated as well. If it's repeated, then you're clones. That's a problem we need to fix.
Now together, scholars, these things form what we call your student ID, your number and your letter, and you will use this when you are debating. You'll tell the judge what letter you are. When you're writing your essay, you'll write this on the front of the essay. When you're taking the challenge, you will do this. This is very key to make sure that everyone receives the scores that they deserve. So try to remember your number, but make sure when you're filling it out on the different events today that you do have it correct. Otherwise, somebody else gets your score. Then next is the division. We have a much larger senior division. We have about 144 senior scholars and about 40 junior scholars. Just to give you an idea of where you are in the division you're in. And then last, we have your school. None of you that I'm aware of go to Havana International School. And after tomorrow, none of you would want to go there either, probably.
And if you do not like the current school that is listed on your tag or the school that you're going to, some of your judges are possibly from other schools that you might be interested, so maybe you could ask for an interview. Please don't, I'm just joking.
Now, there's another reason these name tags are important, Albert.
And that is, these are your documentation for adoption tomorrow. So it means that if any of you are too cool to wear the name tags, as I see some of you are really not wearing your name tags, of course I'm not referring to the specific person who's now finding their name tag to try to wear them. If you're too cool to wear it and forget to bring it, we might not be able to accommodate you tomorrow in the alpaca adoption process. So, are you guys going to make sure you bring your name tags? Look at him!
So scholars, those are your name tags. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about are two of the events that will be happening today. Juniors, it is the first event you will be doing today. Seniors, you will do it after lunch. It is the collaborative writing. So scholars, the way the collaborative writing will work, all the scholars from your division will be in a room or a series of rooms. You and your team will sit together. After all, it is collaborative writing. So you and your team will each be at a table together. You will each get a writing booklet though. Although it is collaborative, ultimately, each of you will be producing your own written work. What will happen first is you will receive a list of topics. There are 6 topics, one for each of the 6 subjects in the World Scholars Cup. The topics will be in the form of a statement that you can agree with or disagree with. And the first thing that you'll want to do is select the topic. There are 3 of you on a team, so you should have 3 different topics. After you've selected your topic, then you pick a side. Are you for that topic or are you against it? It's unlike debate where you don't have the choice. I would encourage you to pick a topic that you're interested in, pick a topic that you fully understand, and maybe pick something that you already have an opinion about. After all, you're trying to write, you're trying to persuade us. Whatever work you produce should be persuasive in nature. So if you're writing about a way that you actually feel, sometimes that can make your writing more persuasive if it's coming from sort of a place that you actually believe in. Okay, what happens next, Albert?
Next up is the challenge. Oh wait.
Next in the writing,
after your 25 minutes of collaborative research, then what you should be doing is write your own essay. When you're writing your own essays, remember there are a few things that people ask in comment. Firstly, is there any word limits? The answer is no. Are there a number of pages you're supposed to write? No. The idea is that, remember, because you're trying to convince us, you can write as much or as many words as you feel necessary. Do not feel it's important that you need to work up to a certain length. Sometimes shorter, more concise pieces can achieve the same effect as something that is very elaborate and quite lengthy. So pick the tone of your writing. writing is what you need to do, right? Don't worry about the length. The other thing is that obviously some of you might ask about grammar and spelling. We do not have a specific way of trying to dock points if you misspell words or if you mix up your grammar just a slight bit. But remember, the key is still, if you misspell too many words or if you mix up your grammar too much, it might affect the way we understand your message. So that's why grammar and spelling can be important, but it's not